Seneca's introductory quotation, Seneca reportedly remarked, "Start now to live, and consider each day as a distinct lives," as Seneca reminds us all. A day is both a life and a single day. Concludes, we are presented with a chance to reflect and conclude its chapter. And Grace, we'll look at 7 today. Regular Stoic lessons that assist us in concluding our day by anchoring ourselves in mindfulness oneself in anticipation of receiving the present of a fresh day ahead. Keep in mind that every lesson has significance. It's about figuring out those that speak to you, include incorporating them into your evening routine as you modify them as necessary to meet your journey. Before we start, I would be grateful if you could watch the video so that you can assist me in moving forward. Promoting the Stoic way of thinking. If you are not subscribers, I suggest that you activate the bell and subscribe so you don't overlook any. Reflecting on the first video lesson. Lesson 1. Examining the activities of the day. The activities of the day. This is more than just a mental workout, but it's an ancient ceremony of transformation. Stoic discipline that incorporates reflection, purposefully serving as a bridge between our current selves and our strive to be tomorrow, each and every day. With a plethora of options, each one artist applies a brushstroke to the canvas of. When we look back on our lives, we're not merely going over these decisions again, we're stepping into an observer's shoes, being aware of the reasons underlying our activities and the effects they have. Impact. Consider a basic conversation such as speaking with a colleague from a reflective perspective. You are able to analyze this conversation. Were your remarks motivated by sincere concern or duty when they spoke? Did you pay attention to comprehend or simply to respond to its self-granularity? Evaluation can uncover profoundly rooted behavioral patterns, some of which we may not be aware of, so let's flip the perspective on perhaps more important events. You encountered a difficult choice made at work, or a dispute at thinking about such situations at home, enables you to determine if your answer was originating from ego feeling or equanimity. Were you influenced by the urge for approval or motivated by sincere care for the larger picture? But reflection is more than merely recognizing. It serves as a portal to both virtues and vices. Greater self-awareness through comprehension. Our deeds, we expose the facets of our psyche, reveals biases, desires, and anxieties and convictions that shape our decisions. For example, if you discovered skipping a specific duty because of sincere worries or a lurking fear of failure, in the event that you responded defensively, was the real problem at hand an argument, or a triggering event from the past? Such a reaction that including meditation into our evening routine, has significant ramifications. It enables us to awaken every day with a more knowledge of oneself and a path plan for our own personal development. Aggressive AR designers that embody our values instead than being passive beneficiaries of outside impacts. Lesson number 2. Get ready for lesson number 2. Get ready for the challenges of tomorrow. The one for tomorrow difficulties. This has nothing to do with forecasting every possible obstacle or completing instead. Fill your thoughts with fear of the unknown. It's about preparing your mind to confront any challenges that may arise. Establishing a foundation of Stoic resilience. We learned about the idea from the Stoics of malum premeditatio, or the evil's premeditation, is a tactic where you envision possible difficulties not to increase worry, but to lessen the blow of hardship and to create a mental model for managing challenges. As Seneca once remarked, it's more devastating to be overlooked in its impact, and surprise contribute to the burden of calamity. By getting ready our thoughts beforehand, we're less inclined to be shook when confronted with difficulties. In thinking about the upcoming day, you have a difficult presentation to make. a challenging discussion is waiting for you, or with a decision imminent, take the evening prior to visualize. These situations, go over them in your thoughts, picturing not just the circumstances, but your feelings and responses. Then consider your potential answers, the worst-case situations, but more. Most importantly, picture how you would be calm and graceful when dealing with them. For example, if you're anxious, remain cool. Regarding a dispute in a future meeting, instead of concentrating on the dispute, focus on your answer. How can you stay rooted, making sure the dialogue remains fruitful and avoids straying into the area of the intimate? By imagining your tranquil, kind, and considerate answers. You're mentally practicing to make sure you're more prepared for the actual challenge arises. It's also helpful to think about upon the unyielding tenet that we manage our responses. Even if we are unable to regulate the happenings, if you're expecting a possible obstacle such as a delay in a project or an unanticipated challenge, reminds the Stoic principle isn't for you. Things that irritate us, but our assessment about them, give yourself a mentality that does not consider setbacks as failures, but as chances for development and education. By turning this cerebral exercise into a nightly routine, you're being proactive, shaping your answers to be sure that even in the face of sudden turbulence, you continue to be grounded and unwavering. In a Stoic knowledge, getting ready for tomorrow's. The difficulties are less about anticipating every turn and further information regarding making sure you possess the mental toughness and the ability to move quickly along any road reveals the third lesson. Express lesson number 3. Show your appreciation, thankfulness as the night's curtain rises close and the world starts to descend. Our Stoic trek nudged us into silence, leading us to one of the most significant human feels: thankfulness. It's a habit that goes beyond simple gratitude. It's a philosophical position, is an approach to the globe and our position in it. Gratitude is similar to a lighthouse amidst the enormous sea of existence, where tidal waves of unhappiness and desire waves are a continual threat to divert our attention. This beacon of being grateful aids in navigating. It's a compass pointing in the direction of contentment, urging us to discover simplicity and beauty and prosperity in the irrelevant Stoic. Marcus Aurelius' emperors frequently began their days with a just wondering what I have to be grateful for a guy of prestige and influence today. This little rite served as a stabilizing influence. At nightfall, as he thought back on his day, the fabric of his appreciation expanded, richer and full of both large gestures. In quiet moments, consider the scope of this habit in our hectic everyday lives. Numerous actions, it's simple to become engrossed. In our shortcomings, what went wrong or what might be better, but every day presents a many presence. The melody of birds in morning, the scent of newly made coffee, the contagious giggles of a loved one, or just breathing itself at the middle of the grand theatre of life each night while you sit in calm introspection. Push oneself to transcend the apparent and delve farther into your reservoirs. Did you observe any patterns in your experiences of light and shadows acting on the walls at dusk, or the cadence of a ceaseless symphony of life in your heart? Maybe there was a surprise message from a former acquaintance, or the finding of a music that spoke to your soul. Taking into account this broad perspective of incorporating thankfulness into your evening routine alters not only your viewpoint, but the basic foundation of you are no longer a passive person, participant in life's theatre, but an active seeker, searching for brief wonder, happiness, and gratitude as the days transition to weeks, then months. An enhanced viewpoint is incorporated into you embody the world around you. Changes difficulties rather than difficult cliffs, turn into adventuresome tricks, errors, rather than burdens become teachings embellished with knowledge and life in all of its. The unpredictable turns into a dance of infinite moments that are all worthy of your appreciation. So as you lay down each at night, allow your heart to overflow with gratitude, allowing it to resonate with the innumerable joys, monumental and every minute of the day, in the vast Stoic narrative. Being grateful is an art, not just a gesture. Our lives are painted with hues of wonder, satisfaction, and unrelenting. Read the fourth appreciation lesson. Lesson number 4. Examine Stoic writings from Stoic messages while the moon is displaying its silvery glow. There's a custom that has strengthened wisdom seekers for reading Stoic books for centuries. This is more than just a routine. It's in communion through immersion with some of the brightest brains that have ever inhabited our. There is more to world Stoic literature than just words. The treasure trove of life's treasures on paper, deepest secrets. These writings revealed by intellectuals such as Seneca, Marcus Aurelius. Additionally, Epicus bring the core of the human experience, and realizing that reading them every night is similar to having a philosophical conversation in which timeless wisdom is exchanged one section at a time. Picture yourself seated across from a cozy fireplace, and came into you as Seneca discussing the essence of time and life. He might remind you of life if you are able to utilize. How frequently do we lament the length of time, lack of time, but it's actually our ineffective leadership or a lack of awareness which eludes us such revelations, while nighttime reflections can influence our behaviors and viewpoints for the days to come. Or maybe you would find intimate thoughts of Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations make you feel as though you're seeing into a Roman emperor's private journal who struggled in spite of his great power, has the same human worries as everyone else. You might read the greatest one night. Retaliation means not acting like your adversary in a society where petty behavior and hostility is widespread. What a potent reminder. It is to protect our honor and honesty each night when you open them texts. It seems like you're going into a Stoic in the vast, timeless hall. Philosophers are waiting for you with open arms to offer their perspectives and test your convictions and offer consolation. It's a lively, enlightening discussion that extends throughout millennia. But it goes beyond the act of reading, as passive consuming Stoic philosophy encourages introspection. It's a call to inquiry and discussion, inwardly, and to shape these realizations to match your life's special puzzle. Perhaps the words of Epictetus one evening on control. We encourage you to differentiate between the things that are within your control and those outside of it, or even on a especially difficult day, you find comfort in the Stoic notion that amarati is love of one's destiny. Through Stoicism readings as part of your nightly routine, beyond simply enhancing the reservoir of intellect that you are shaping your soul, honing your personality, and getting ready for life's many challenges, difficulties with wisdom and grace. Poise. Over time, these evening excursions becoming Stoic does not change you. Do the storms of life affect you? Rather, you stand tall and planted in ancient knowledge, prepared to transform, all turning an obstacle into a chance for development and enlightenment within the expansive framework of reading from Stoic as part of bedtime practices. Not merely a brushstroke, writings are the same hues that make the whole masterpiece too. The fifth life lesson is to detach from lesson number 5. Unplug and reconnect. Recreation connects in the era of endless alerts for never-ending content streams and the electronic buzz that supports. In contemporary life, a Stoic call arises to take profound action that, relevantly, the act of intentionally separation from what is actually re-establish contact. This is an odd paradox of our we are more connected than ever in these times, prior to having the entire world at our fingers. However, for many, a true feeling of connection appears to be constantly elusive in the torrent of emails and news that we frequently become disconnected from the essence of being the center for silent reflection that characterizes us as Stoics. Despite living in an era without social media and cell phones in depth, recognize the importance of isolation and through contemplation. They acknowledge that true constant confusion does not lead to clarity, involvement, but from instances of purposeful disengagement in the peaceful areas between what we do and what we frequently discover the deepest realizations. Picture the waters of serene lake are still, all our everyday diversions are like a stone tossed into this lake, causing ripple effects and upsetting its tranquility by nightfall if too many stones have been thrown. Mirroring becomes tumultuous in the water. The jumble of our thoughts, the action of detaching, is similar to giving this lake an opportunity to go back to its peaceful state right now. This is not an endorsement of total disengagement or rejection of technology. Rather, it's about purposeful disengagement. It might be shutting off your phone 1 hour prior to going to bed, enabling the computerized sounds to diminish and create area for peaceful contemplation. Perhaps it's a brief period of time spent gazing outside the window, taking in the surroundings without the filter and pixel lens as you engage in this act of detaching yourself. Start a more extensive and in-depth exploration of re-establishing contact with your deepest feelings and ideas, with your breathing rhythm, with the simplicity of existence. Recall the moments when joy was discovered in a screen glow instead of the smooth pages of an engrossing book, guitar strumming, or a heartfelt discussion with a loved one. The Stoics were advocates of this kind of reconciliation. Marcus Aurelius frequently discussed of withdrawing into one's own solitude in his letters, praised the benefits of being alone. And upon introspection, they discovered that in removing oneself from outside distractions, we discover a conduit to our inner selves each evening when you deliberately decide. Disconnecting is more than just take a vacation from the digital world you're entering, returning to oneself on a sacred journey. It is a journey in which every step away is one step closer to you from the cacophony. Central area of wisdom and peace and pure joy incorporates this include into your evening routine, and you will find that in the center of disconnection is the most significant relationship between everyone and your own soul. You start to realize that you're not a drop in the huge ocean, but something of digital data, but an infinite this small digital drop, and in the ocean this insight, you discover freedom, clarity, and an endless supply of joy's sixth lesson. Let's see what's lesson number 6. Let go of things you can't control beyond your control as darkness descends, the world ushering and casting shadows. In a world of dreams and stars, there is a subliminal reminder to all of us that the Stoics enthusiastically supported the release of items, activities, and results. The essence of Stoicism is beyond our reach. Philosophy is an in-depth comprehension of control by identifying what's inside our perspective, and what's life without all of its unpredictability causes a wide range of situations in which we impact a number of. We don't cling to things that are outside of our control is similar to attempting to capture the wind in a futile and annoying net. Think about the might of the universe, its grandiosity and the birth of stars and spinning, fading galaxies in their cosmic dance. And now we're on our way to little blue dot that is frequently overpowered by situations that are both important and, once, the trivial Epictetus stated, "We are unable to select our external situations, but we always have a choice." How we react to them with this knowledge. Imagine the route that leads to inner peace. Clutching a balloon that symbolizes your concerns, fears, and the results you'd like to control, the tighter. The more you hold on, the more it pushes against you. What if you could simply let it go now? Observe it drifting away on the winds. of understanding and acceptance. Growing greater till it's but a dot in the essence is the immense sky of existence. Of letting go each night as you wind down, it provides a chance to psychologically and mentally experience the incidents of the day, acknowledging your best efforts, as well as determining what is absent from your hands. Perhaps it's the result of a crucial meeting, the response of a buddy to what you stated, or the ever-evolving global situation. By recognizing and letting go of these, you give yourself peace of mind and the flexibility to concentrate where you can make a real difference every night. Release is therapeutic. It's similar to releasing your soul's burden and letting it be light as well as. This practice is free from time constraints, changes from a nightly custom to a you're no longer living philosophically influenced by every external change wind. Instead, you end yourself being the storm's focal point. Regardless, remain composed, in harmony, and peaceful. Imagine the mayhem that can rage outdoors. Marcus Aurelius frequently discussed the thing's transience, and our transient, where his words are located in the universe, function as a moving reminder of the pointlessness of clinging to things that are beyond us. Knights who internalize this stop being merely a physical rest, but a haven, a place for the soul, where we accept, recognize, and let go, as you include this in your evening routine. There are mornings that greet you with renewed vitality, clarity, and an unwavering tranquility in the knowledge that you are in harmony as the order of things acts naturally where possible, and letting go with grace. This equilibrium is where you count the pinnacle of Stoic knowledge and the seventh set of the Serenity lesson. Lesson number 7. Make plans for tomorrow. Plans for the following day as the velvety night curtain descends. A world of opportunity opens up, paving the way for path for a new dawn, but to actually harness the strength of a fresh day. Stoics valued the skill of setting intentions are more than just plans. Beyond simple duties, they are the compass that our inner spirit uses our North Star to navigate deepest desires, while the world today's races are based on goals, targets, and measurable accomplishments. The Stoic perspective invites us to delve deeper. Deep ritual. It's not only about crossing things off a list or rushing through tasks lists. It's about establishing a foundation in our behaviors, being in line with our core principles, with our values, and how we approach one another day with a clear goal in mind. Picture a ship embarking without a specified path, determined by the wind's whims, and it could float aimlessly on the tides, or perhaps collide with unexpected shores. Our goals are similar to drawing a path to guarantee the ship's journey corresponds with its intended location each night. As you stop to think about the tomorrow is a chance to inquire about which virtues do I want to exemplify? Do I wish to make things happen through my behaviors? Perhaps the Stoic ideal of bravery in the face of adversity head-on. It could be wise to choose to, in a heated situation, speak less and listen more. Discussion, or it can be justice, making sure justice in a crucial choice that you must. It is not necessary to plot every minute or recording each and every exchange. It's about developing an attitude that directing the day's philosophy by establishing goals based on Stoic values that guide our behavior, each task's meaning and purpose more than just a hobby. It turns into a mirror of our inner. Seneca once said that if one does unsure about the port to which one is sailing, the wind is positive. By establishing goals, you're making every breeze better by defining your port. Every obstacle and every victory is positive, wind that gradually moves you forward. This routine changes not just our days and nights, yet our lives themselves don't. We no longer find ourselves at a loss in the enormous ocean of life that we transform into. Our ship is being navigated by master navigators with persistent resolve, even in the face of the most turbulent time in life. Final thoughts on nightly routines. Storms, as the ancient Stoic whispers, wisdom reverberates throughout the hallways of. When we discover that their lessons are not only ideas to consider, but practical actions to take every evening, suddenly everything around us becomes quiet, and we stand on the edge of relaxation and renewal. We are in possession of the keys to a life with greater purpose, meaning, and inner tranquility. But, like any great philosophy, is more than merely knowing, is about putting it into practice, flourishes when its lessons are incorporated into the core of our everyday existence, and there's no better moment than now to do it. The end of the day, when we have time to think, straighten and prepare the way for morning. Which of these Stoic nights awaits practices that most spoke to you, which you envision yourself incorporating into your nighttime routine's tapestry? Talk about your ideas, goals, and, in the comments section below, share your Stoic experience. Let's encourage one another and share knowledge. As we travel this wise road together, until then, I hope you find peace in the strength and stillness of the night, in the precepts of Stoicism.